We're ready, Patty?
Give it 1 second. The attendees are filing in.
Okay.
And let's record. There's no record.
It's recording.
It's recording.
It's recording now.
It's okay. Oh, yeah. Good.
Should I stop it and start it again?
Doesn't matter.
Don't stop it and start it. I don't think you'll be able to restart it.
Okay.
Okay. Just place that back on the bumper.
There you go. It's
Yeah, and if you want to just tap it, it'll come down and hit start video, and then you'll be able to.
All right, if everyone could mute, we can begin.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the 2020 Montgomery Awards. Thank you for joining us in the celebration of excellence, and congratulations to our outstanding award winners. We are happy to have the Montgomery County Commissioners with us today, and we welcome the Chair, Dr. Val Arkush, and the Vice Chair, Ken Lawrence, and Commissioner Gale will not be attending this award ceremony. We would like to start our celebration by inviting them to offer some comments, and we'll start with the Chair, Dr. Arkush.
Great. Well, thank you, Steve, and good afternoon, everybody. It's so wonderful to see all of you at this celebration of excellence. I'm so sorry that we can't be celebrating together, but that is what we're up against this year. And I want to thank the team and our planning commission. They have worked so hard to make this event just as special as it always is. And I also want to just thank our commission board members chaired by Steve Klein. You all have done a phenomenal job during this pandemic. You have led the way in making sure that our planning commission is offering our community things that our community will need to rebuild, like ideas about zoning guidance and temporary measures that could be put into place to help our businesses survive this pandemic. So thank you to all of you for your incredible commitment during this very challenging time. And then I want to congratulate all of the 2020 Montgomery Award winners. We look forward to this celebration every year because we get to see some of the truly great projects that are happening across our communities. This is a unique year, and this is the first year, and hopefully it'll be the only year, that the award celebration is taking place in a virtual setting. But one plus to this format is that we were able to reach out to our whole community and invite many, many more people to attend. And so I hope that they have done that. We hope that you'll find this event to be a real opportunity to learn about this important program and what goes into creating an exceptional project in Montgomery County. These winners exemplify the best of the best in Montgomery County and represent both the public and private sectors. All of these projects correspond to the goals of connected communities, sustainable places, and vibrant economy contained within our county's award-winning 2040 comprehensive plan. And we're fortunate to have these remarkable developments that benefit and enhance the communities in our county. And with that, I'll turn over to my colleague, Vice Chair, Commissioner Ken Lawrence.
You're muted, Ken. There you go.
That's the second time I've muted myself there. I think Val does it to me. But good afternoon, everyone. It's good to see so many of you. I would also like to congratulate all of our winners. We're so proud to have these incredible developments in our county, representing 7 different municipalities, stretching all the way from Pennsburg, Borough in the west to Upper Moreland and Lower Marion in the east. All the winners are examples of best practices in design and planning in Montgomery County and include residential, commercial, institutional, and transportation projects, as well as recreational support. And when looking at these award recipients, we can see the common themes of vision, planning, and collaboration. Whether a project involved innovative development, adaptive reuse, historic preservation, or transportation and stormwater solutions, all resulted from a vision, plan, and collaborative approach. They are models for how owners, developers, communities, and other entities can work together to achieve outstanding results. So we invite you to visit the Montgomery Awards pages on the Planning Commission's website to explore all the award recipients that have been a part of this program since its beginning. And early next year, you may even want to submit a 2021 nomination yourself. And I too look forward to next year where hopefully we can all be back together. This event always has the best appetizers of any of the county events that we get to. So I hope that that will not be lost when we join together next year. So once again, congratulations to all the award winners. And I'll turn it back to Chairman Klein.
Thank you, Commissioners. We appreciate your comments and support that you give to the Planning Commission and most importantly to the entire county. So thank you. At this time, I'd like to introduce our my fellow board members and the dedicated group of professionals who enrich our agency with a variety of experience and serve with great enthusiasm. But before I do that, we'd like to have a moment of silence for the passing of Scott Exley. Scott was a board member for over 20 years. He was an active board member. He shared his immense experience with the board staff, the board commissioners, and all those that came before us for that long period of time. He will be sorely missed. So if you could please join me in a moment of silence, recognizing Scott and his passing. Thank you. It's now my pleasure to introduce the great group of people that I work with. Dulcie Flaherty, as I was calling her earlier, my wingman, vice chair. I think I speak to Dulcie almost as much as I speak to my wife at this point. So Dulcie Flaherty, our newest member, Obed Arango, Bob Blue, Joe Blumhart, John Ernst, and Charlie Tornetta. I would also like to recognize David Cohen, who stepped off the board earlier this year and had served for I think 3 or 4 years and had been a great contributor to our board. As we all know, Montgomery County is a wonderful place to live, work, and play. Our Planning Commission is proud to be a part of working toward making the county's future even brighter. Just also wanted to make sure our board members put in a lot of time. It is not just our monthly meetings that we get involved in. Every board member serves on at least one of our committees, which are there are three of them. The Montgomery Awards, which we're celebrating today. We also populate the committees that put out grant money for the Monco 2040 and also the transportation grant. So our board members do put in a lot more time each year other than just the monthly meetings. So with that, I'd like to introduce our newest executive director, Scott France, who took over for Jody, who left the position earlier this year, who will speak to us about the commission and the awards program. Scott?
Thank you, Stephen. And thank you to all of our MCPC board members for their leadership and for sharing their experience with our staff in this program and throughout the year. Since 1950, the Montgomery County Planning Commission has been the leading advocate for planning in the county. It's our mission to work with our municipalities, businesses, and organizations, and to engage our citizens in building sustainable futures for our communities. We produce and provide planning resources and offer professional services to help our municipalities achieve their comprehensive planning goals. We couldn't do any of this without a dynamic staff with a wide range of expertise and extensive experience in their fields and in serving Montgomery County. Pulling off events like today is just one example of their hard work and dedication. Despite our eyes toward the future, none of us could have predicted all of what 2020 has brought and what is still going on today. Like everyone else, the Planning Commission has had to adjust and reorient itself, but we do so with our eyes on the county, its municipalities, and our planning partners in the region. I just want to mention a couple of important projects from 2020. Restart Monco was not on our work program at the beginning of the year, but quickly became one of our top priorities. It's an initiative that's focused on planning strategies to help communities and others recover from, and comply with COVID-19 requirements and best practices. These resources are continuously updated and remain as important as ever in our current circumstances. And I urge everyone to check out our website to find new information on coping with COVID-19. In 2020, we also developed a web app to focus on low-stress streets for bicyclists and pedestrians throughout the county as people look for suitable areas to get outside and exercise when our local trails may become crowded due to their popularity. And we recently released and adopted the Montgomery County Trail Access, Diversity, and Awareness Plan, which focuses on social equity and access to trails in 3 specific locations in the county and includes best practices that can be applied to any trail network. Looking toward 2021, we will be finding new challenges and continuing our efforts to make planning a part of the solution to local issues and problems. The new Montco Pikes project is underway. It's going to look at 6 main corridors in the county and ensure that these roadways will support 21st century lifestyles. We're also leading local planning efforts to create comprehensive plans, business park master plans, and streetscape greenway plans in important downtown and employment centers. These efforts benefit not only their local communities, but the county as a whole with greater quality of life and economic impacts. And we're also going to strive to remain even more flexible in these fast-changing times with our Planning Smarter education series, coming soon to a Zoom webinar near you, and hopefully in 2021, eventually, a physical venue as we focus on important topics such as stormwater BMPs and flooding, transit-oriented development, and workforce housing. We hope you'll visit our website at montcopa.org/forward/planning and take a look at all of our planning resources and professional services. But now let's turn our attention back to the Montgomery Awards program. Our commission strives for excellence in planning and design, and this is what our annual awards program is all about: rewarding those who build partnerships in our communities and find opportunities to make the best projects happen in Montgomery County. Since its beginning in 1967, 222 awards have been presented, and many types of projects have been awarded, including different uses such as residential, office, and commercial developments. And hey, we're planners, so of course you're going to see some mixed use developments that include 2 or 3 of these elements in that mix. We've also awarded great projects, as Commissioner Lawrence pointed out: redevelopment situations, community revitalization, transportation improvements, historic preservation, and open space and park planning. So I am pleased to congratulate all 7 of our award winners for the 2020 class. And I'm sworn not to spoil any of the award winners before Patty and Dulcie present them to you. So let me just say that we're very fortunate to have these exceptional projects and leaders in Montgomery County. And you can get information on all of our 2020 winners and past winners on our website again at the the Montgomery Awards page. So before I pass the virtual microphone, I want to acknowledge the hard work put in by Patty Gutenplan, our section chief for design and graphics, to bring this event to you today. The virtual Montgomery Awards of 2020 have been made just as real and important as previous editions through Patty and her extensive team, which she would be the first to acknowledge. Despite the limitations of not having a lovely event in which we could all enjoy each other's company and appetizers in a beautiful venue like the county's Audubon Center, we're fortunate to seize new opportunities and bring video-based visits that explore each of our award winners to you. I do want to emphasize that the videos you'll be watching were filmed under proper protocol with social distancing and using masks when closer than 6 feet while outside. So at this point, I'm happy to turn the presentation over to Dulcie Flaherty, our MCPC Board Vice Chair and Chairperson of the 2020 Montgomery Awards Committee. Dulcie?
Thank you, Scott. Good afternoon, everyone. We want to extend an especially warm welcome to all of our virtual guests and to our winners. We commend the winners for your exceptional projects and thank you for submitting such fine work as nominations for the Montgomery Award. Your pride in these endeavors shines through your work. Montgomery County Planning Commission and our county commissioners are thrilled to lift up and recognize you. I'd like to also acknowledge the members of our 2020 Awards Committee, Charlie Tornetto and our former board member, David Cohen. It is an honor to announce this year's award winners. Bridgeport Zero Energy Ready Homes in Bridgeport Borough, Greater Philadelphia YMCA Willow Grove Branch in Upper Moreland Township, Higher Rock Transportation Improvements in Montgomery Township, Jacksonville Green, Hatboro Borough, Letterock General Store, Lower Southford Township, Schwenkfelder Library and Heritage Center in Pennsburg Borough, and Station Row at Suburban Square in Lower Merion Township. Congratulations, everyone. These are truly terrific projects. And I want to introduce Patty Gutenplan, who waved to you earlier. She's the Section Chief of Design Planning and Graphic Design, and she's going to give the presentation on each of our winners. Then I'll read the certificate text for each recipient, and Patty will highlight the award-winning features of each project. So the first winner we will present is Bridgeport Zero Energy Ready Homes. This unique state-of-the-art residential infill development receives the award for innovation, community revitalization, and successful collaboration. This project is an example of how small, well-planned development can have a huge impact in a community and become a catalyst for revitalization. Congratulations, and now for the presentation. We're going to visit Bridgeport so you can see what we're so excited about.
Welcome to the Bridgeport Zero Energy Ready Homes. This innovative project involved the construction of 4 twin homes in an established residential neighborhood. These homes were the first single-family attached homes to be built in Montgomery County that meet and exceed the U.S. Department of Energy's Zero Energy Ready Home program and are built in a classic design and are offered at a competitive price. This innovative infill project, located in Bridgeport Borough, also helps in the borough's efforts for growth and revitalization.
2017 was really when we started as a municipality gaining speed in the residential and to a lesser degree commercial redevelopment of the borough. And the work that Mr. Johnson, Mr. Lombardi initiated with not only this property, but the project that they had on Union Avenue, was really what I kind of interpreted to be the catalyst for a lot of other development, residential infill development throughout the municipality. Not only did Mr. Lombardi and everybody on this project kind of set the standard for what realistically could be expected in terms of new residential development in the borough, but really the comps that these houses set in terms of the real estate market kind of bared out the fact that despite the fact that we had never had a house sell for greater than $400,000 in the borough, we've had over a dozen since 2017. And not to the point of being redundant, Joe Lombardi and Gary Johnson and everybody on this project was really the catalyst behind that, and the fulcrum where we saw the tipping point of all that really start to come to be. It absolutely is. The initiative that you're seeing, not only organically in environmental advisory committees and elected officials throughout Montgomery County and southeastern PA and the region, you're seeing initiatives stressing an importance and a goal on moving towards renewable energy in their fleet and their facilities, and trying to encourage that with residences throughout their communities as well. Not to mention some of the outside pressure from interest groups like the Sierra Club, introducing the Ready for 100 program. Projects like this are certainly feathers in the cap, so to speak, to show that we as a municipality are welcoming towards them. They absolutely sell if the money and the means and the foresight are put into a project of that nature, and it's a noble and worthwhile undertaking. You know, we're also really proud to be able to say that Bridgeport Borough is home to the first zero energy ready single family attached homes in the entirety of Montgomery County.
I'd like to thank Montgomery County, and I'm honored to accept this award on behalf of Bridgeport Properties, Alter Eco, and Architectura. It's nice to be recognized for something we're passionate about, and for what we feel is the right way to build a home from an environmental, sustainability, and healthy living standpoint. We set out to provide a home delivering exceptional value and a comprehensive package of high-performance features and stylish design at a competitive price compared to a standard code-built home. The Department of Energy Zero Ready Energy Home Program that the homes were built to and certified by deliver a level of efficiency, performance, and comfort that only 1% of the nation's homes achieve. The Zero Energy Ready Home is all about minimizing the energy and environmental burden of our nation's homes. And as a result, they're a very healthy place in which to live. The reason we chose Bridgeport is that we felt providing a housing product of this level could bring much deserved attention to Bridgeport Borough and assist in supporting Bridgeport's growth and revitalization efforts. Once again, thank you very much. We really appreciate it.
This small yet state-of-the-art project is an exceptional example of how successful collaboration can result in innovative housing that benefits not only its residents, but the community.
Thank you, Patty. Our next award is the Philadelphia YMCA Willow Grove. Now join us at the Y for something really exciting. This successful redevelopment project receives the award for extensive collaboration, effective solution to stormwater and floodplain management and community transportation improvements. This project has created a contemporary community center that invites everyone to gather and provide 21st century amenities for its members.
Welcome to the Greater Philadelphia YMCA Willow Grove branch. This innovative project involved the construction of a new 98,000 square foot facility for recreation on the site of the former Willow Grove Day Camp. The 40-acre property, which lies within the floodplain, provided several opportunities for environmental improvements to the site, including stormwater management, floodplain attenuation, and landscape preservation. This state-of-the-art facility, located in Upper Moreland Township, replaces two former YMCA sites and has become a destination and a gathering place for the community.
Hopefully the design, I think it's the spaces that we created. It's running track at the second level is a different concept, and the two-story spaces. Two-story lobby, as I said, was something like going to Wanamaker's to be at the Eagle. The Wanamaker's is huge 5-story space, and everyone says, meet me at the Eagle, meet me at the Wanamaker's. It becomes a meeting place. It's a central place for everybody to go to in the building, and everyone will know where the lobby is.
This is a very unique piece of property that had a lot of site elements that needed to be taken into consideration. From a technical standpoint, you had floodplain attenuation efforts, you had riparian buffers, you also had stream crossings, retaining walls. So there are a lot of elements that needed to be addressed and thought of during the early stages of the project in order to get the project to where it is today. So we worked with the township consultants related to the stormwater and those efforts. We put in several large underground stormwater management facilities that went through the approval process. As far as the floodplain attenuation, this project was a partnership with the township to explore the possibility of a more regional approach to the stormwater management in the floodplain. The results of those studies wound up producing a result that we basically carved out some of the land to allow some of the water to backflow into the site before leaving the site, therefore reducing our floodplain impact on Davisville Road. We were actually able to lower some of the floodplain elevations along that stretch of Davisville Road. So Davisville Road is the location of our entrance. We've met with the township, local officials, PennDOT. We also work very closely with the community. We looked at incorporating pedestrian connections with some of the surrounding community. That was achieved by expanding the shoulders. We also looked at some of the impact to adjacent intersections and provided improvements that would address some of the existing or prior existing conditions that this development helped improve. So again, this was a collaborative effort with the township. One of the things that we wanted to try to do is provide an amenity that would be publicly utilized. This pathway is about 0.7 miles that loops the campus. And it's funny because I've been here at night and I've seen, on a cool summer night, and you've seen people coming out late in the evening taking advantage of the pathway. So it's really great to see.
I think it was a wonderful collaborative process. The YMCA was willing and able to come to public meetings without prior arrangement to hear all. It was an uphill battle from day one, because as a township we had numerous challenges that we had to deal with. Flooding and traffic were our number one priorities, and they were also the number one priorities of the community. I think this is a huge benefit to the community with the services the YMCA provides. It also served in a way to bring Upper Moreland, Hatboro, and Abington together, because all those communities are now using the same facility. So another fantastic family-run business that was all about community. We would have our firefighters picnics here, and this was an area where people would just come and participate in the whole Willow Grove Day Camp event. Was all people that lived right around here. It was a challenge to let that go, especially since the township would have loved to have had this as an open space, and we tried, to get there, and it was not reachable economically.
The YMCA would like to thank Montgomery County for this award. Our Willow Grove building represents years of work, thought, fundraising, and has culminated in this beautiful building. If you visit it, you'll see lots of natural light, really well thought out design, but most importantly, you'll find a place that's really welcoming. And that's important to the Y, because it's not about the building itself, it's about what we do with it. We welcome kids, families, active older adults, people of all backgrounds, and people should feel comfortable when they come in to exercise, to connect with other members, or whatever activity the Y happens to be having that day. If you do come by, we're more than happy to welcome you and show you around. We're very proud of the work. So on behalf of the board, the staff, the volunteers, I'd like to say thank you. Thank you so much for the recognition. We're going to be there for another 100 years to serve Montgomery County, the Upper Moreland Township, Willow Grove area. Thank you. Please stop by.
This state-of-the-art facility will serve as a model for collaborative design process, floodplain and landscape preservation, and impactful community improvements.
Okay, we'll move on to our next award winner. that will highlight it is higher rock transportation improvements. This outstanding transportation project received the award for extensive collaboration, innovative and effective transportation solution, and community economic development. The project that we're going to next look at, which is involved with the development of multiple commercial sites along with an essential roadway connection, transformed a challenging site into an important community destination. We have a little bit of a lag here, but now we're up 611 and we are up 309 and we are where we're supposed to be. And this project has transformed a challenging site into an important community destination that can be reached safely by motorists, bicyclists, and pedestrians. Bear with us, we have a few glitches, but Patty's going to begin right now.
Welcome to the Higher Rock Transportation Improvements Project. This innovative transportation project involved the extension of Witchwood Drive to a new intersection with Bethlehem Pike, Route 309, and the development of several commercial properties, which are transforming this busy commercial corridor. This collaborative project was a result of several years of planning and negotiation and has succeeded in addressing many of the long-standing traffic issues of the area.
I would say the biggest challenge is not only was it trying to, design a road and the road improvements through the site, but the particular issues you have, particularly with the left turn lane, getting that into the site. There was another break on 309, but because of the tremendous benefits that it provided to the intersection up at Stump and 309, it might be something that normally a traffic engineer wouldn't think of, but you have to think out of the box sometimes. When you think out of the box, you put the left turn lane in here, you add another signal, and then you can get that traffic through around the intersection rather than have to go through it twice. And that was probably the biggest hurdle as far as the project goes from a transportation perspective. It was a first-class example of a municipality working with a developer to get the best thing that you possibly can for the project. Trying to address those issues at Stump and 309, there was really no other way around it other than building this road. But the cost of building this road was tremendous. Not only had the two traffic signals at either end, the road itself, the rock cuts to put it in and everything, it was a huge expense. So the municipality and the developer worked together tremendously on that. Obviously, PennDOT worked well because they were the ones that had to grant the new signal and approve that new break in the median out on 309. But that's why for us it was so important, was that coordination, that willingness of all parties to work together to get something done that benefits everybody, benefits all the residents of the township, benefits the developers, benefits PennDOT. So we're basically able to make that intersection work so much better from the township perspective. We were able to get a lot of improvements to the emergency preemption system for the fire company to be able to actuate the signals, for them to be able to come out and know that they're going to be able to trigger those signals and get out safely onto the both Stump Road and 309. So the residents benefit, the fire department, police department benefit from those kind of improvements. And obviously, from a tax base perspective, it obviously helps anytime that you can have development like this, and particularly if you can do it in a responsible manner.
I think the inspiration for this project was there was a situation where we had a property that had a lot of difficult challenges to it with topography and rock, and having a nursery and a retail nursery here really wasn't conducive for running that kind of operation after 30 or 40 years. We tried to grow and expand. So trying to take advantage of an opportunity where we had a great township board of supervisors, both prior and currently, that really worked with us in being able to collaborate this project and understand that we were going to be servicing a need for the township
knowing that there was a situation with some of the things that Kevin Johnson had spoken about regarding all the situations with the traffic and the intersections and the backup of the traffic that we've continuously watched in the township. So by allowing us to alleviate that issue, because we've been a township residents, our family has since 1956, and understanding that at some point my grandfather was here and there was a stop sign at 309 in Stump Road, we actually watched this township grow from within. And knowing that we could service that need and also allowing us as a personal company, Sal's Nursery and Landscaping, to take advantage of a development opportunity along with Jim Kahn and Charlie Kahn, my partners of Higher Rock, and allowing us to grow our business both within the township, which we have another location as well, and the current location that we're expanding on, was our inspiration. I think was actually, as a landscape architect, I think the nice thing about it is trying to figure out how to use the topography to your best advantage. So working and collaborating with Gilmore and Bowler and Kevin's team at TPD and trying to figure out how to actually terrace the walls into the turn topography, knowing we had a 54-foot drop throughout the property, and knowing that we were dealing with almost 400,000 cubic yards of rock, and how to utilize that on the property itself without having to haul it and dispose of it somewhere else in a dump site was the most inspiring thing, because it allowed us to build these walls, terrace the property, and at the same time utilize the product that we actually harvested from the property. I think a couple things. One, we've alleviated the traffic, which we've mentioned. I think also we provided a gas station on the southbound side of 309, which there is not one for 17 miles along 309, from Unionville Pike up in Hatfield all the way down to Cheltenham Avenue in Philadelphia. So that does provide a benefit to a lot of commuters that did not have to bypass and go on side roads to reach out to other gas stations or cross over 309 from a safety standpoint. I think also being able to bring sewer to this side of 309, which they did not have in this capacity, which has allowed us to have our own sewer treatment plant at the bottom, a pumping station, and that allowed us to actually provide sewer to some of the residents along Stump Road that currently did not have that opportunity.
Hello, I'm Jim Kahn from the Higher Rock Partners. I want to thank you very much for this wonderful award we've been granted from Montgomery County for the traffic improvements. This has been a lengthy project over the last 15 years, beginning with our first meeting with Wawa between my partner John Antonucci and myself. And it's been a long road. We've been dealing with a lot of challenges here, topography from 40 to 50 foot drop and rock beginning at 6 feet on down with a whole lot of blasting. We're thrilled to be here today, get an award that we never anticipated receiving, and we want to thank each one of you for considering us for this prestigious award. Thank you very much from the bottom of our hearts.
Hi, I'm Candace Camara with Montgomery Township. I am one of the Board of Supervisors, and on behalf of the Board of Supervisors, I really would like to just say how proud we are of Higher Rock and them getting this award from Montgomery County. The award is for the most beautiful project in 2020, which we have. We think it's a pretty great place to live, and we're greatly, greatly appreciative of people that want to build businesses, help our transportation, and just be good citizens with the rest of us. So to John Antonucci, Jim Kahn, Higher Rock, we say thank you, and we're proud of you for winning this award. A couple other people that we just want to thank would be Todd Stevens for his help in getting the grant from PennDOT. PennDOT itself, thank you for everything you've done here, helping the traffic in our township, 309, Stump Road. This is a huge, huge help for our residents. Kevin with Traffic Planning Design for all of the work that you've done to get this project where it is. Bowler Engineering, Gilmore Engineering. I think that's everyone. A quick thanks should go to Bruce Shoup in our Planning and Zoning Department for all of the work. This thing has been on his desk for 7 years, I think, in its current form. And also a short thank you to Larry Gregan, our past township manager. This was on his desk for all those years as well. And without the two of them and this great team that we have, we wouldn't have what we have now, which we're very proud of. We're happy to have you. Thanks for being such a great neighbor.
This transformative transportation planning and site development project will be a model for how civic-minded collaboration can benefit a community.
Well, this has been an exciting project to be able to share with you. If I had known we were going to have a little extra time, maybe we could have a virtual stop at Wawa and everybody could pick up a drink or a hoagie. But since we are all in our separate places, we're going to move on to our next award. The next award is so exciting. We're able to share it with you because this is a wonderful project. Our next award winner is Jacksonville Green. This exceptional historic renovation receives the award for adaptive reuse, sustainable design, and context-sensitive improvements. This mixed-use project, which transformed an historic factory into a contemporary apartments and seamlessly blended a new apartment building, provides additional housing options within walking distance of the regional rail line and community destination. Let's visit Jacksonville Green and see what they've done.
Welcome to Jacksonville Green. This exceptional project involved the adaptive reuse of buildings from the former Roberts and Mander Stove Company. In this historic mixed-use project, former factory buildings were transformed into 45 residential units, and a new 40-unit building was constructed, built to Gold LEED certification standards. In this true transit-oriented development in Hatboro Borough, it is just a 5-minute walk to the regional rail station and to the heart of town.
We've always been into adaptive reuse and historic tax credit projects, and the fact that my colleague, Jim Cassidy, was familiar with Hatboro, we thought it was a perfect opportunity to help develop the neighborhood and make something special out of what was previously an eyesore. Well, I love the fact that we were able to maintain significant portions of the roof lines and the trusses. And if you're looking in the interior of the building, we maintained some of the industrial mechanics of the old factories that were here. And then we were able to fill in with the brickwork, which pretty much replicated what the old structures would have looked like had they been built during the same era. Oh, there are so many challenges, it's hard to count them all, but the site itself was a challenge. It took a lot to excavate the site, to maintain some of the historic features, including the roof and the trusses, was a challenge. Getting the financing together was a challenge, particularly with the historic tax credits requirements. So I would say it was an overall a significant challenge, but thank God we overcame it all. We were fortunate enough to be able to design 2 floors of underground parking into the facility, which is obviously not visible from here, but it's a tremendous amenity for the project, and people like the idea that they could park here, they can drive into the city, or they can walk and take the train. So underground parking was part of the challenge, by the way, because going 2 floors to subterranean, the whole site had to be drained, but it did work out.
One of the great things about Jacksonville Green is we really have an apartment for everyone. Our restored building features original brick accent walls, industrial-sized windows, and exposed beams. But on the other hand, if you're interested in a more traditional style, our new construction building will be perfect for you.
Not only has it brought in a number of new residents to the community and it has beautified the community, it has attracted walkers to our train station down the street, it's brought in financial benefit to the borough. So after this project was built, we met with PennDOT and expressed our desire to have a bike lane to make it so people could bike to the train station, they could bike into our lovely Main Street. We noticed that a lot of the residents in here are younger and do like to bike, and the borough has recently gotten grants from WalkWorks to try to promote a more healthy community. I have seen people walking. They either walk through the neighborhood here or they do come out and walk along Jacksonville Road and down to Montgomery Avenue and right out to the heart of Main Street.
I'd like to thank the Montgomery County Planning Commission for this award. This project, Jacksonville Green, is a 85-unit apartment conversion. This project started a long time ago in 2008, and it's exciting to see it finished and recognized to be an integral part of Hatboro Borough and to revitalize the stretch of Jacksonville Road that has been vacant for a long time.
This successful adaptive reuse will be an inspiration for historic preservation, sustainable design, and context-sensitive improvements.
Okay. Will everyone join me as we move out west in Montgomery County? The next award winner we will highlight is the Letterock General Store. This remarkable adaptive reuse project receives the award for historic preservation, sensitive site planning, and investment in community character. This project, which was a true labor of love, helps to retain the village identity of Letterock and will continue to be a cherished landmark in the community. Patty, will you take us to Letterock?
Welcome to the Letterock General Store. This historic preservation project involved the extensive restoration of the general store that used to be on this site, built back in the 1700s. Site-sensitive construction of additions were also completed, which resulted in commercial space totaling over 5,700 square feet. This remarkable restoration project in Lower Southford Township is the last critical piece at this intersection, this 6-point intersection in Letterock Village, and helps to ensure the historic character of the community.
Projects, of course, have been my lifelong work. I moved here in '59 and almost immediately became involved in construction and built onto my own house and then bought a stone house, another old Letterock farmhouse where our kids grew up, about just down the road, 2 or 3 houses. And then, of course, in 2002, my sons and I got together and bought this property. So it was quite natural that all of us are involved in construction, so that we took on this project as a family project. It was the pride of this community, you know, moving here when my kids would ride tricycle on Route 113 in an age when small villages was very unique in this area, and we wanted to keep the pride here. So that inspired me anyway. Keeping the old building has its challenges, and one of those challenges, of course, is elevations. We had to live with elevations. We wanted to make it accessible, which we did, and it finally worked out better if we would lower the floor by 7 inches, which means removing the old beams The amazing thing about this project was the condition of the wood, old wood, and the stone. It's amazing, great condition. If you look at any of the wood that's still showing, including the beams in the roof, they're all in good shape. They're in great shape, as a matter of fact.
A lot of the challenges of the building, actually every aspect of the building was a challenge. Anything new in this part, bringing together the new to the old, and the time involved. I mean, we were here probably for 2 years between the demo and the construction of the project. This project was huge. If you saw pictures of before, of what the building was, and how much of it we had torn down, and obviously we've kept this part, that challenges were an everyday thing.
Well, it was an honor being the architect for this project, because it is a family homestead. Started out as a general store. There was a fire in it, like I guess in the early 1800s, mid 1800s, thereabouts. And some of the restoration, this section we're standing in right now is the original structure, and it was added on over the years. And those pieces had grown dilapidated, and we restored it back to its original architectural style, particularly on the end facing the intersection, the 5-point intersection of Letter Rock. And as you come around the bend, it's as you would see it back in the mid to late 1800s. And I'm proud of what the Mass have done in honoring the history of the property. So that in itself, I think, speaks volume for what the Mass family has done to respect the village of Letter Rock and preserve the village of Letter Rock. And I know it's been important to that family as much as it has been, of course, for the Letter Rock family as well.
I'm the Vice Chairman of the Planning Commission here in Lower Southford Township, and one area that I think has been underrepresented in the awards and in just architectural recognition in the county are some of our smaller projects and some of our village areas. Over the years, I watched this project take shape, and I always thought that they had done a wonderful job, not just on the building itself, but also on how they were able to blend in with the existing village environment. And so I thought that they did a great job. This is something that here in Lower Southford we're very proud of. And so we're very honored that the county has given us the Montgomery Award.
Thank you. My name is Rick Mass, and on behalf of my family, my brother Mike, my brother John, and my father John, I want to thank Montgomery County for recognition and receiving the 2020 Montgomery Award. For our family especially, it is great to receive that recognition because we've been not only doing this project but living in the community for decades. My family first moved here in 1959 before I was born, and we all have memories of walking to the post office in this building as kids. So it's great to be a part of preserving the history. It's unique to this project. Our project architect, Phil Letterock, was actually, I believe, a 9th generation removed from the family that built this building, by the Letterock family. So being part of preserving that history is especially important. I also want to recognize and thank our builder, Jack Oshura, who is here. And without him, this project would not have turned out the way it did. We've received lots of compliments, and we laugh now. When we first started the project, people used to shout out their car windows, "Tear it down." And by the end, they would say, it looks great. So that is a pretty good recognition of the progress of the project. And thank you again, Montgomery County.
This remarkable restoration project will continue to be an example of how true collaboration can bring about restorative change in the heart of a community.
Well, continuing with our focus on history in Montgomery County and moving out a little farther west, we're now going to go and take a look at the Schwenkfelder Library and Heritage Center. It's our next award winner. This exceptional contemporary campus expansion receives the award for preservation of community heritage, context-sensitive design, and a successful long-term planning process. This project will allow the center to continue its vision of preserving and interpreting the rural heritage of Montgomery County and providing a destination for learning and reflection. Patty, take us up to Pennsburg and take us back in history and today.
Welcome to the Schwenkfelder Library and Heritage Center. This inspired-based project involved the construction of a new 38,000 square foot addition to the library that was located here, built originally in 1951. The relocation and rebuilding of a historic Pennsylvania bank barn was also deemed crucial to this campus that interprets the heritage of the rural part of Montgomery County. This exceptional project, which involved the expansion to a renowned research center located in Pennsburg Borough, will enable the center to continue its mission of education and preservation.
The project was motivated by two things. As soon as we finished the first building project in 2000-2001, the board started struggling with the idea to bring a barn on site, and we worked through that for quite a few years, and then we drew to a standstill. We could not agree exactly. The other motivator is we were running out of space. If we wanted to continue to fulfill our mission, which was to preserve the heritage of the Schwenkfelders in the Upper Perkiomen Valley, we needed more space. So about 5 or 6 years ago, we sat down and an expanded committee, and we started talking again about the two, bringing a barn on site, and also how we could expand and get more space. Immediately behind me is the archival storage area. Our archives and library facilities were just jam-packed, filled, and things were still coming in on a regular basis. We needed more temperature and humidity controlled space. And so from the staff's perspective, a major part of this project was expanding that temperature and humidity controlled space, and that's what's directly behind me. Behind that is a museum space on the other end of the new structure. The museum storage space was running out of storage, plus we had a lot of things, we had some things off-site that we wanted to bring onto site for exhibit, and we didn't have any space to do that. We needed to expand in order to do that.
Provided the project that met the needs of the Schwenkfelder Heritage Center. That the different needs that they had was storage space, also museum space, and to keep that all accessible and matching into the other building.
Well, our family's been involved with the Library and Heritage Center for actually multiple generations, my dad and his father before him. And when the library did their last expansion in 2000, Dad was all in favor of bringing a barn to this site. And when it didn't work out, I would say he was a little disappointed, but as time developed and marched on, he and I were both still involved with the board, and it seemed like the opportunity came up, and it was all about Dad's willingness. It was really, in effect, his barn, not my barn, and he was all about donating it to this cause, because that was a project that he was very much in favor of for many years. Well, the barn, certainly having grown up on the farm, I spent many childhood days playing in the barn and teenage days working in the barn, and my father likewise before me. The barn represents so much of an important part of farm life. Farm families spend so much time in the barn, and this barn happens to be old enough to date back to the early 1800s and really represents the Pennsylvania German design that was so common in this area, and it's just a good way to represent the way things used to be for those that may have forgotten or never knew about early agriculture in the area. I am thrilled. They did a masterful job of recreating the barn as it was. Obviously, there are some new pieces because of weathering and age that couldn't transfer to the new location, but the reproduction they've done on the outside and the maintaining the beams and structure and character on the inside is just magnificent. We couldn't be, and my dad couldn't be more happy with the results.
This project, I think, was an ideal nominee for the award because it focused on the community, which is obviously an emphasis for the center, but also looked at the design process and the end result, the really excellent work that was done here to integrate old spaces with new, to make the project echo what the exhibits inside are about, preserving the rural nature of Montgomery County. The center is really the local historical society, and there are two main ways in which we benefit the community. One is by providing kind of an attic space for preserving those things which come from the families that have lived here, whether it's for generations or just recently. And the other is by providing programs for the community. This includes school programs for school children, all the way through lecture series for adults and different kinds of community events.
On behalf of the hundreds of volunteers, workers, builders, donors of the Schwenkfelder Library and Heritage Center, I am grateful to receive this most prestigious award. At one time, Montgomery County was known for its family farms. They worked hard at tilling the soil, growing crops, and raising livestock. If you come to the Heritage Center, you will see an original Conestoga wagon used to transport their farm fresh goods to market as they became the breadbasket to feed Philadelphia. As you can imagine, the barn was at the heart of every farm family in Montgomery County. We are incredibly grateful for the Fred Sipe family who donated their 19th century Pennsylvania German barn, an original Schwenkfelder barn that was in their family for over 4 generations, and it became the very heart of our building project. Agriculture in Montgomery County is but a memory. Since 1950, we've lost over 2,000 family farms. Our barn was taken apart piece by piece and carefully reassembled at the Schwenkfelder Heritage Center, where original farm machinery and other valuable items will be on display to help our children and grandchildren visualize a long-forgotten way of life. Thank you.
This outstanding campus expansion has created a state-of-the-art facility that will preserve the rich tradition and tapestry of the culture and history of Montgomery County.
Okay, friends, put on your seatbelts. We're going to travel east again and show you what a diverse and wonderful county we have. Our final award winner is Station Row at Suburban Square. This successful mixed-use development receives the award for effective master planning, streetscape and pedestrian improvements, and sensitive architectural design. This project, with its cohesive design approach and community connections, updates, unifies, and completes an important part of the vision for this popular shopping destination. Yes, Lower Merion and Pennsburg are in Montgomery County. Very different, very unique, and very valued.
Station Row at Suburban Square. This most recent addition to this successful shopping center involved the construction of a 37,500 square foot building on the location of a former block-long parking lot. Inspired by the Art Deco architecture of the existing historic former Strawbridge and Clothier department store, this building provides on 2 stories for offices, restaurants, and retail. This critical piece of the vision plan for Suburban Square provides a pedestrian-friendly and inviting streetscape along Coulter Avenue.
This was a really collaborative process wherein the neighbors were involved, the county played a positive role, and the developer listened to questions, concerns the community had, responded to feedback that the township had, and I think as a result, a better project developed. There are many elements of the project that the township felt were beneficial to the community. In addition to this public gathering space, which we feel elevates the transit user's experience, the applicant also constructed this enhanced streetscape, which includes the wide sidewalks, landscape verge, street trees, and several other elements that elevate the pedestrian experience. Yes, I come with our family. Actually, we ride our bikes here from Ballackinwood and use the restaurants and enjoy shopping here.
When we started, we really looked at the history of the place. We had noticed that the Suburban Square really had transformed into an automobile-focused center. So we really looked at the history of the space, what it had been, and really trying to turn the site inside out, really with a refocus on the pedestrian experience and the people experience of the place versus the automobile. What that really allowed us to do is to create a strong urban framework and pedestrian space that really interconnected Suburban Square together. We thought the raised intersections were very important. We had a lot of great things happening in the upper courtyard with the lawn space and the seating areas, but equally as important is Coulter Avenue. It really is the Main Street shopping portion of Suburban Square. We really wanted to make it feel connected to all of the other amenities. So by raising the intersections, we not only created that physical connection, but also allowed us to slow down automobiles and again have that pedestrian focus for people coming to shop and dine and enjoy themselves here at Suburban Square. Sure, we use a lot of very simple techniques. We really preached with Kimco, keeping things very simple. So a very simple palette of materials, plantings, and spaces really were used to unify the spaces. So just very simple gestures, but really those were the unifying feature of Suburban Square. I think there's many. I think Suburban Square is really a collection of small moves that built together to create a really large impact. So where we're standing, converting parking spaces to a pedestrian refuge and a raised intersection, doesn't seem like a big deal, but it has a huge impact. The building behind us was the parking lot for the train station. It was a lost space, and now it's a focal point for the St. James Promenade. So I think it's just a collection of those experiences that build upon each other to create a great space and place for people.
So for me, what's made this a very rewarding experience is working on a project like Suburban Square that has such a great history and has been such an integral part of the community for so long. As I've had discussions with members of the community and even some of our consultants, I've heard countless stories of them growing up nearby, coming to visit Suburban Square, and all the positive memories they've shared with me. So it's wonderful to think that some of these new places here, it's improvements that we've created at Suburban Square, are creating new memories for a new generation. And again, I just want to thank the county for the award, and I want to thank everyone who helped us and made this possible. Thank you.
This context-sensitive addition to this successful shopping area will serve as a model for inviting public space and will continue to be a destination for the community.
Congratulations again to all our award winners, and thank you all out there for attending this celebration. Information on all of the 2020 winners is available at our website, montgomerypa.org/Montgomery Awards. And I'd like to sincerely thank the Planning Commission staff for all your hard work. This program was a very successful virtual event, and I also want to thank you for your willingness to expand our skill set for presentations. This was an adventure, and I think we all enjoyed and benefited from learning something new. All of you out there, enjoy the rest of your evening, and thank you for your interest in our program.
Thank you, Patty.
Thanks to the team.
Great job, Patty.
Well, again, it was a team, so thank you.
It was a great job, team. And Patty, you should have changed the flower color at each presentation.
Oh.
That would have been like a Where's Waldo. We could have had a questionnaire.
There you go.
So great job, everybody.
Great job, team.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a good night,
Thank
everybody.
everyone for attending today.
Have a good night.